Hello. So I had a request from a subscriber to talk about the Uni Kuru Toga mechanical pencil. I've had this for at least a couple years. I don't use pencils a whole lot. Mostly I use pens, and I have other pencils that maybe I'll review in the future. I don't know why I haven't done that at this point, but I have wooden pencils and then I have mechanical pencils. And so sometimes I'm just in the mood for a wooden pencil because it's fun to stop and sharpen it and all of that. But sometimes you really do need a mechanical pencil because you need that fine tip, which if you've ever watched my videos, you know I really like. So I purchased this. This is the starter set, and I purchased it on Jet Pens, and it was, I'm looking at the website, it's $4.65, and I'm sure that's what I paid for it at the time. The starter kit you can purchase it with a 0.5 millimeter, which is what I have, or a 0.7 millimeter, and it comes with the pencil, a little pack of lead, and 2 erasers that you can replace in the top. So I'm going to move those out of the way for this review. And the lead is some kind of a special lead. I believe they said it was, it says nano dia blended. And I remember reading it's like this super hard lead that doesn't break very easily. If you buy cheap mechanical pencils from the grocery store, like a pack of Bics that, are just the plastic ones that we all are familiar with, those break all the time. As a teacher, I see students using them all the time. A couple of things I don't like about them, and I don't even own any of those. People buy them because they're cheap, they're easy to get, and you just throw them away. A couple things I don't like about them is they squeak when students are writing. So it's really funny to be in a classroom and you have several students using those pencils, which isn't unusual, and you'll just hear them like squeaking across the page. It's unnecessary, really, when there are pencils like this out there. And for $4.65, this is not something that you would throw away. You would just replace the lead and the erasers, and you'd spend $4.65 on probably a multi-pack of those pencils, and they'd all be thrown away, and they're all garbage anyway. So this is not an expensive investment at all. So not only do those pencils squeak, but the leads break all the time. I mean, they just snap across the paper. I've used them, I've seen other people use them, and that's just the way it is. So this comes with a special lead that I'm sure Jet Pen sells the refills for. I've never even refilled the lead in this pencil yet. That's how long it lasts, but also how infrequently I use it. Actually, you know what? I think I have replaced one lead stick before. I lied. So this is just a super hard lead that I guess is resistant to breaking. So on Jet Pens, these are offered in several different varieties. So I know now I've seen they have like a gel grip one, they have like metal ones. I mean, they can get pretty fancy. And if I go to just briefly look at the site, I see there are like 38 products that come up when I just type in Kuru Toga mechanical pencil, and they range in price from the starter pack, which is like $4.65. They have some cute ones that have designs on them for $5. They don't come with the erasers and the lead, but they have some for like $5, $7.50, or even cuter looking ones. And then the ones that have the gel, is that gel? It looks like something kind of like a Dr. Grip. And then they have some, like one that's all metal called the Roulette, and that's like $16.50. So it looks like they top out at $16.50. And they also have cases for pencil lead that are kind of fancy. They're like $3.30. So anyway, there's a variety out there, and some of them are really cute. So if you use mechanical pencil a lot, let's say you're a student and you're in math or science or anything like that, this would be a no-brainer to me. I think you would really enjoy this. I know when I need a mechanical pencil, this is the one I go for. This is actually the 3rd starter kit I've purchased. The first one, when I showed it to my mom, she immediately wanted it, so of course I gave it to her, and she uses it. She has her own business, and she does things pretty old school style. She fills out a really large long spreadsheet on paper. She doesn't use the computer. And it has little tiny squares all the way across the page, and this is what she uses it for. She thought it would be perfect. My brother saw it, and he liked it. He is a scientist, and so he uses it as well when he needs a pencil. So this is the third starter kit I've purchased, and because I've purchased 3, obviously I really like it, right? So what is the big deal about this pencil? It's the lead. It's not just the lead itself, but it's how the pencil rotates the lead so that you have a consistently fine point all the time. So another thing about mechanical pencils that we're all aware of, if you've ever used one for any length of time, and this is a Pentel Click 0.7 Pentel Click. And it's okay. Actually, I like advancing the lead with a click on the side. I prefer that. I would like the Kuru Toga to do that, but it advances from the top. But with the Pentel Click, you just click on the side and it advances the lead. I really like that, actually. I wish this was like that. Another thing I like about it is this rubberized grip versus this. It has like some texture to it. I think you can see it there. But in this little band here is rubberized, so if you're holding it far down, like at least your fingers, it's not going to slip through your fingers. But I prefer the grip on this. I prefer the click mechanism on the side, but that only goes so far. Really, with me, it doesn't matter how much the pen or pencil costs. It's really the writing experience that you have. And this one, the Kuru Toga, is superior. So with any mechanical pencil, when you write, you're going to create a flat edge to the lead. So it may start out nice and sharp, and then as you write, it starts to flatten the side of the lead that you're using, and then you end up with a wider line and then a flat side to your lead. If you go to turn it in your hand, which I know I have done with every mechanical pencil I've had before this one, to try to give yourself that sharp edge, oftentimes the lead will just break off at that point, and then you've got a rough edge to your lead anyway, or the lead will twist itself in the barrel back to the flat side, and you just don't get a consistently fine point with this. The Kuru Toga has some sort of a mechanism inside the barrel that, and you can see it there. When you're writing, it will rotate the lead. I believe it's based on the pressure. So every time you push down and then you like lift up the pencil, it will rotate the lead around so that you have a consistently sharp point. I'm trying to focus in here. And you never have a flat edge to your lead. And that's essentially I think, the shining point of this pencil. Otherwise, it's a mechanical pencil. You can get a nicer body style. But, I would say there's nothing special about this pencil other than that, and because of that, it makes it superior to other mechanical pencils. Now, clearly, I know that there are like drafting pencils and, some really expensive mechanical pencils that aren't going to be for the everyday user, that are probably superior to this, but I'm just talking like for, the everyday person that might need a mechanical pencil. I think of students when I think of this. So one of the things I don't like about it, but this is typical, is the eraser. It's just this little tiny eraser. You have a cap. I think the cap is easy to lose, and the eraser, you can see I've never used the eraser. And that covers the click mechanism. I don't like that, the click is at the top of the pencil, because when you erase, sometimes it'll click through, although this one is pretty sturdy, so you're probably not going to get that. Just in comparison with this Pentel Click, the eraser is a twist up, and it has a nice substantial eraser, which you can see I've used, but when you push on it, it will twist right back down into the pencil. So when I erase, it'll just turn the pencil around so that it completely flattens out. So this one isn't necessarily a good, solution to the problem either. So when I've used this, I will either use my boxy eraser, or I'll use a Mars plastic, a Staedtler. So I've used both of these with this pencil, and it's just fine. So now let's do a quick writing sample so that you can see what I'm talking about. I will do a comparison between this and the Click 7. So I'm going to write maybe a couple sentences so that you get an idea of how that will look. And I'll print so that it's clearer. Hello. Now, I know that, I'm comparing a 0.5 and a 0.7, so of course the 0.7 is going to be thicker, but I'm hoping that what you'll see is that the 0.7's lead will flatten out. When I was writing, you can kind of feel like as you push down, like something, a little shift in the lead, and I don't know if it's coming across here, but the lead is perfectly sharpened all the way around. There is no flat edge to it. When I look at the sample, the writing sample, everything is completely uniform in size. So now let's write the same sentence with the Pentel Click. And I did not twist that in my hand at all. I can already see visually that this lead is flattening out and it's getting wider as I write. The edges of the lead are not as defined, or the edges of the lines are not as defined. Actually, this is wild how it's showing exactly what I was hoping it would. I mean, I guess it's not wild, it's just fortunate, because usually when I'm filming and I think one thing will happen, it doesn't. Okay, so just taking a look at the tip of the lead, you can clearly see, I'm looking at the viewfinder, and I can clearly see how that has a sharp edge. It has a slant that goes like that. Hold it up to the paper. You can definitely see that. Let me hold up the Kuru Toga next to it. Can I do this? Am I skilled enough? Let's see. Is that going to focus? Look at that. You can definitely see that the Kuru Toga is just shaped like a fresh lead, and this Pentel Click is definitely slanted. When you look at the writing from the word hello to the last part, and even all the way through, you can see just from this line to this line how it's gotten larger and grainier because that lead is flattening out, whereas the Kuru Toga was sharp from the beginning all the way to the end. Actually, I think this is a really good writing sample to show the comparison between how a rotating lead works, or how a rotating mechanical pencil works, versus a standard one where your lead is rotating around so you have a fresh sharp edge each time, where this one is just traditional. It does not rotate. You do not get that fresh sharp edge each time. When you're doing tiny writing, intricate characters, or you're just trying to be neat in your writing, or you're the type of person that, some of us just like to visually see something consistent. I know I do. The Kuru Toga hands down wins. And because it has so many different options, I mean, you can find one that fits your style. It maxes out at $16.50, which I think is pricey for a pencil, but if you're the type of person that, if you're a math major in college, you might spring for it. If you're just a student in high school, or you take a math class in college or something every now and again, get one of them. Get the starter pack. It's $4.65. The step ups are $5, $7. You can't go wrong with this. This is an excellent pencil. I would definitely recommend this mechanical pencil by far above any I've ever tried, including anything you'll find at Staples or the grocery store. Again, I got mine at Jet Pens for $4.65, and it came with a pack of lead and extra erasers. So I hope that you found this helpful. Don't hesitate to buy this. You'll love it. And thank you, as always, for subscribing and watching and leaving comments. I really appreciate it. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.